Hey everyone. For today's topic, I want to talk to you about radical self acceptance. Being able to get to a place where you accept yourself completely as you are with all your flaws and insecurities, especially accepting the parts about yourself that you can't change, like anything related to your physical body. Okay, not all those things you can't change. I understand there's plastic surgery and whatnot nowadays, but you should strive to work on your insecurities about your flaws enough so that you don't feel a need to change yourself, especially if it means going under the knife. Because that's just all that kind of stuff ever does is mask an insecurity. It doesn't get rid of it. It just covers it up for a tiny bit, but it's still there if you never take the time to work on it. So it's really important to get to a place where you can completely accept yourself. And this doesn't just pertain to your physical attributes, it also pertains to your personality, like being willing to show emotion sometimes and things like that. The funny enough, the inspiration behind this video was the fact that one of my good friends, who I've known this woman for over 2 years now, but this is my first time meeting her in person because funny enough, she started out as one of you, a viewer of my videos. She found one of my videos a long time ago when she wasn't in a great place, and ever since then, she's followed and she even comments regularly. In fact, some of you would probably recognize her name, but I'm not going to say it just for her own privacy. But she's visiting me in Los Angeles right now, and it's really cool. It's been awesome to hang out with her in person, show her the areas around here, and even introduce her to some of my friends. And she's been able to see the kind of friendships that I have. Basically, I've really aimed to surround myself with other men who also radically accept themselves as they are, because I know that means they're going to be the best kind of friends to have. They won't judge you for your emotions. They'll allow you to be as you are with no judgment whatsoever. Like, I have deep conversations with these friends. Some of them have even cried in front of me. We do not judge each other over it. So it's a really beautiful thing, and radical self-acceptance is part of that. But the reason I'm bringing all this up and bringing up the friend who's visiting is because she asked me why I'm so like in tune with my emotions and why why that's somewhat separates me from most other men who don't have that quality. And I had to think about that. And the more I thought about it, I realized the reason why I'm comfortable with my emotions is because I accept myself as I am. Like, I accept the entirety of myself, and that allows me to accept my emotions and not give two craps what other people think of me for showing emotion. Especially because now I've just learned, if people can't accept you as you are, like the entirety of you, including your emotions and the way you handle them or show them, why would I want to have that person in my life, right? Like, why would I want to keep someone around me who can't handle seeing me, a grown man, having emotions and not pretending to be a stoic statue all the time, like, I'm so tough, I don't feel any emotions at all, except then when you go home, you cry yourself to sleep because you're bottling everything up inside. That's not me. That's not the way I am. Granted, I don't cry very much, but that's not because I bottle it up. It's because it just takes a lot to make me cry, really. That's the main purpose. Usually my emotions will be let out in smaller ways because, yeah, it takes a lot for me to hit that point, just like it takes a lot for me to get mad, to get angry. Very few of my friends, even friends I've known for years, very few of them have ever seen me angry. In fact, I don't even know if some of my closest friends have ever seen me angry. And that's not for me bottling my emotions up, it's just because things don't bother me on that level. They just don't. I've worked on myself enough that I tend to be zen most of the time, and I don't let most things intrude on that zenness. So yeah, but basically the whole point here is radical self-acceptance. Accepting yourself as you are with all your flaws allows you to accept you with your emotions and every aspect about you. And that means when other people judge you or form their opinions about you, it doesn't bother you as much because you're going to accept yourself as you are, even with their judgments and opinions. Like, I remember when I was younger, one of the biggest insecurities that took me the longest time to overcome was my height. Because in middle school, I was probably around 5 feet tall. Like, back then, a lot of girls were taller than me because of that. I even got made fun of by them, so that was great for my self-esteem. And then in early high school, I was probably around 5'2" to 5'4". I even remember I joined the football team, and the first thing the coach asked me was, "How tall is your dad?" Because he was trying to see if I would grow taller. And in hindsight, that was a hell of a thing to say to a kid like who wants to join a sport. Like really, very insensitive. That coach was not a good human being, and he got into a bunch of trouble later on. So, goes to show. But yeah, it was funny how, not funny per se, but it was interesting how that insecurity was something that just followed me, especially because I was made fun of so much over it, like emotionally bullied because I wasn't a big guy. Even now, I'm like only 5'8". That's not tall. I'm like right around average, if not slightly below average height. So I'm not tall, but I accept my height. I can't change it. So why the hell would I let it bother me, right? I don't care what other people say about me. I've even had some women try to like test me on this where they try to like poke fun at my height or something, and I'm just like, what are you doing? Like, if you're trying to get a response out of me, just leave. I don't want to deal with that kind of BS because I can't change my height. Like if it's not enough for you, by all means go out there and try to find another dude that you think is decent. But I'm not above 6 feet tall. I can't help you there. Don't know what to say. Yeah, so you just have to work on accepting the things about yourself that you can't change. And even just work on accepting the other parts of you that you're working on, like personality characteristics, things like that, because those you can change for sure, but it can take time. So as you're working to become a better human being, work on also accepting yourself during that time. Don't just work on accepting yourself once you're where you wish to be, because that will be difficult. It's something you need to do no matter what stage in life you're at. Like there is no hill that you need to climb to the top of and then finally you can accept yourself now. No, you need to be accepting yourself each step up that hill. It's one of those things where if you don't continue practicing it, you're not really ever going to be able to do it. Just like people who think they need to climb the hill to find happiness, when they can find happiness at each step along that hill as well. So just make sure you practice accepting yourself as you are. And the way you can do that is just for the things that you can't change about yourself, like those physical attributes, just remind yourself if you can't change it, what's the point in letting it bother you? Just accept it. It's something you have no control over. Like my height, and I also got made fun of for my nose when I was younger as well, because I'm Italian, I've got a Roman big nose. I eventually accepted that as well, and some women have even liked it, so it's just one of those things, right? So I just don't care about that. I can't change it. And for a lot of men out there on the internet, I see this all the time, see all the jokes, the size of their member. That's another thing. Just accept it. The things that you can't change, accept them, right? Like if you can't do anything about it, then don't let other people bother you over it. There's no point in it. But for the things that you can change, still don't let people bother you about them, but at least know that those things you can improve. Like, your weight. If someone's making fun of you for your weight, don't let it get to you, but at the same time, no, that is actually something you can improve should you wish to, and should you not want to deal with other people making fun of you for it, which if you do have a lot of people doing that kind of thing, you probably want to kick them out of your life, unless they're really trying to help you, of course. Like, there's a difference between making fun of you and being concerned about your actual physical health, but yeah, it's a separate thing entirely. So the whole point that I'm trying to make with this video, because I realize I am kind of rambling around here, is just keep trying to work on accepting yourself as you are. As a flawed human being with insecurities, but knowing a lot of the insecurities you have, you can improve. I don't know if us human beings can ever get to a place where we have no insecurities whatsoever. I don't think that's possible. I still have insecurities. They just don't affect me as much as they used to. And that's the important thing. Just chipping away at them over time so that they aren't as impactful as you, impactful on you, so that they don't basically guide your actions and your behavior and your decision making. That's the goal. You don't need to become completely insecurity free, but you should definitely make it so that maybe your insecurities were affecting you like 80% of the time before. Well, now you can try to get that number down to like 20% of the time they affect you. So yeah, hopefully it made sense in this video. I do realize I was rambling all over the place, but there really is something special about working on accepting yourself, because it really makes it so life is just a heck of a lot better for you. because we can never control other people, right? You can never stop other people from making fun of you or being bullies or anything like that. And if they find chinks in your armor, like your insecurities or your flaws, and they discover that it bothers you, they will keep attacking those things over and over again because they get an emotional response out of you. So really your best line of defense against that is accepting yourself, to the point that if a bully were to make fun of you about something that you can't change about yourself, you could just be like, yeah, so what, whatever, like, I'm short, okay, cool, and you won the genetic lottery being taller than me, like, have fun, I guess. I don't know what to say. Like, yeah, just don't let it bother you, because it shouldn't. And then you'll be able to move forward being completely unfazed by what other people say about you. And that, if you ask me, is true freedom. But anyway, that's all I have for you guys in this video. I'm going to end it here because if I keep going, I'll start rambling again. But for those of you who made it this far, you probably noticed, hopefully you've noticed, that it's been raining here. I have my window open for ambiance, so you may be able to hear the rain smacking the ground outside. And it's been a really interesting day because we don't get rain here too often in LA, so we've really needed this. But yeah, it's been a fun break from the norm weather-wise. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you like content like this, be sure to subscribe for more. Otherwise, the easiest way you can help me out is just to throw a like and a comment on the video for the algorithm. And I will see you guys in the next one. Arrivederci.